Okay, so in this course, we have more than 20 modules that are aligned with the current industry standards, and that helpful for you to join any kind of cybersecurity job that comes under VAPT, penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, red teaming, or even though you can join as a blue teamer, where you can do things related to defense mechanisms like SOC analyst or being a security analyst or having a knowledge of any kind of security device. So this course focus on both sides, and that will help you in your career growth. In this course, we have a first module as an introduction to ethical hacking, where we will learn some fundamentals like what are the hackers and what type of hackers we have, or what concept they use, what methodologies they follow, what are the framework we have, then what are the laws and standards currently industry follows to stop these kind of attacks. And next we have the starting of this course where we start with the footprinting. It's just gathering more, gathering more and more information about the uh, target that we are looking. Like in this course, this totally focus on practical things where we start with the identifying the target, then gathering their information using different sources. So this module focusing on those different sources that we will use to get the information about target. Like we just identify the target, what resources there are publicly available, and what where we can do our initial attack. Just like doing a like hacking someone else, to do that we need to know them better. So that's kind of thing we do in the footprinting and the reconnaissance. So here we have different techniques like who is footprinting, DNS footprinting, and email network, all kind of footprinting techniques that will we also look when we do the practical. And here we have one use case that will also help you to give the understanding of that module in better way. So here the use case present that before attacking to any company, ethical hacker can collect publicly available information with the sources or with the uh, techniques mentioned in that module, and use that techniques to gather the all the information about the all sources like search engines, social media, who is DNS, and all kind of, and then gather that all information and create a attack based on that information, and that will help them to establish their foothold in the network or outside the network and launch the attack from there. So anyone else have any doubt related to this, or wanted to learn this in a more better way?
Will that going to clear any help to clear any certifications?
Yeah, actually, the course that we are looking right now, it's based on a CHV 13 certification. So that was the initial certification that you will require to get entry into the cybersecurity, because that certification focus on a theoretical as well as a practical part. So it's good to have knowledge about that certification, and that's the industry recognized certification. Like you can see in the every beginner CV, like in the JD that already marked.
Okay.
So it gets
So
updated.
yeah, what about the other ones like the CCSP, CDPSC, CISSP? This
Those are the mostly highly level certifications. Those are for the management peoples who are in the management, like manager roles. Those are the directors. That kind of peoples do that certification. But if you wanted to go into the cybersecurity, you need to have a background of all the things that are currently happening in the industry. So this
okay.
certification is aligned with that. It will give you all the information or the knowledge that you required in your further job.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So when we follow this methodology, the module-wise methodology, here we have a bunch of modules that follows a methodology of a stages. Like this is the first method that we do. Like this is the first step that we do to gather the information about any kind of target. Like if you people are taking a notes from this session, then mark this as a methodology. Like follow a chain of steps that we are going to learn. So the first step we have is to gather the information about the target before doing any attack. Okay. In the next, we have a scanning network. So this is the advanced step of gathering information. Here we also gather the information, but here we are close to the network, close to the target that we are wanted to hack or we wanted to test. So here we try to gather information about the network, the present host, the ports, the services are currently available. These things we will look in deeply later, but to just understand that we are close to the network that is of a victim, and from there, like from the certain location, we will do some scanning to identify the open ports, open services, and based on that we also narrow down our attack. And here we have a use case of that as well, that will give you a clear view of what is the scanning is. Yeah. So here in the module 3, we will identify live systems in the target network. So this we can do this from the internal network as well and from the outside the network as well. We also have a practical session after this uh, explanation of modules, and there we will look for how we can gather the information, even though we will follow all the steps that we are module wise steps that we are currently learning. So here we once we collect the information about that target, the ethical hacker or the operator who is doing the uh, task or the assessment scan for the company networks to find active host, open ports, and the running services those are available there. He will also try to gather the information, the operating systems, and will check for the like he will try to avoid any detection from the security tools that are present on in that network to avoid any kind of recognition in the network. Anyone have any doubts?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the subtype of a scanning we can say. Like the scanning will try to gather all the information about the target. Like it will directly get engaged with the target. But here, what we do, we go like we do our search narrow down type. Like when we identify the ports, then we also identify the services are present there, and there are the protocols that running those services. So we are going one step further where we identify the protocol. So we will look for the misconfigured or the old protocols that are getting used in the network. So from that we can identify the vulnerabilities or the weaknesses related to that kind of protocols. So these are the day-to-day used protocols that getting used in the network for all the things that they wanted to do. Like they can use the DNS to reach out to internet, like DNS records. Then they have SMTP for the emails, NTP for the network shares, LDAP for the Active Directory authentication, then SNMP, and these kind of. So there are lots of protocols are available, so we can identify misconfigurations and there, and we will try to get into the network because we are still outside the network. We are just trying to get the information uh, to do a better attack. So we also have a use case for that, extracting internal details from the live system. So we are just outside the network. We are just trying to get into the network just by identifying one weakness, because that will be help us to get into the network without any authentication, without any password. We just need a vulnerability or the weakness in that protected network. And to find that, we do scanning, we do enumeration. So these are the steps that we will look in detail, in deeply in this course, where we try to breach the network and get into that without any password, without any authentication. We just need a one protocol that is highly vulnerable, or even though it has only one vulnerability, we will try to exploit that and get into the network. And there we can achieve what the attackers wanted to do. Anyone have any doubts? Okay. So here we have a vulnerability analysis.
One
So this
question.
is more, yeah.
So does this have any SSL2 or those kind of higher versions
Yeah.
explanation?
In this chapter, the enumeration will help us to get the details about every protocol that is present in the network, like that's running in the network. So we can get to know about those protocols, and we will look for the what exact version they have. Like there are versions that has a vulnerability, even the latest versions have vulnerability. So we just need to get the details of a version. So for that, we need to do a further scanning that called the enumeration.
Okay, thank you.
And next we have vulnerability analysis. Like there are two methods to get into the network. The first method is to very in ethical manner for the VAPT, like for the penetration testing, just search for the vulnerability and get into like exploit that vulnerability and get into the system. And the second one is send email or send any kind of trojans into the network and get directly access to that network without exploiting any kind of vulnerability. So there are three methods as well. So we currently looking for the legal or the most practical method that everyone's follow when they wanted to learn about the penetration and the cybersecurity. So here we have the module 5 where we do a vulnerability assessment, just like scanning for the vulnerabilities in the network. Like uh, suppose we have a system where we install an antivirus, right? And that antivirus scan for the malicious programs that is running on your system. So same like that, we also do a scanning, but not to find the like not to find malicious uh, sorry, malicious applications, but to find the weaknesses that will allow us to get into the network. Because every software or every protocol or the every driver, any stuff that is live the network that has vulnerabilities and weakness, that could be a operating system itself, that could be a OT device, that could be a uh, applications, protocols, or anything that will get like we just need to find a one vulnerability to get into that network. So there are different type of vulnerabilities that we will also look what are the common vulnerabilities and what we can what type of vulnerability we can exploit. And for that we have a next module, the system hacking. In this module, we will dedicatedly go into the network. We will also exploit the present vulnerabilities. We will also find other ways to get into the network. And then once we are into the network, we will do certain things like we will escalate our privileges, because once we into the network, we are just a normal user. We need to have permissions of a admin or the administrator user. So for that, we need to do the privilege escalation. And there are certain types like we need to maintain our access, because the first vulnerability that we use to get into the network, that could be fetched or that could be resolved. So we need multiple access point to get into the network. There the third type comes in maintaining access. So that we will also look how can we do that, where we can create a persistence into the network and reaching out to the machine from where we're trying to target that network. And at the end, we have a clearing logs. So this is just like erasing all the uh, evidences of ourselves that we are present into the network. So here's the detailed explanation of that, like how that actually works, where we first find the vulnerabilities, then attacker gains access of one of the systems from the network, then we escalate privileges to get the higher access to get more and more control on the network or the that certain system. Then we try to create some access points. Then this is how we demonstrate how the simulation like things work in the network. So if you wanted to be a penetration tester, then you need to have a broad and deep knowledge of module 2 to module 6. Like this is the methodology that every penetration tester follows. And this is what you require to get a job in a cybersecurity. And from here, next we have some other modules that also help you to expand your knowledge. But the core data or the core modules are remained here to deal here. Okay. Anyone have doubt to that methodology or wanted to know more?
So in companies like big banks, right? They used to
Hmm.
hire third-party hackers
Yeah.
to try to intrude their network or those kind of things, right?
Hmm.
And they will ask to kind of tighten their code base and everything to get avoid of any hacker attack, right?
Yeah.
So where those things will come here?
Yeah, we also have that because penetration testing or there are different type of jobs we have when we comes to ethical hacking. The first we have looks now from module 2 to module 5. Those are related to the network penetration testing. So there are also web penetration testing that also comes, and there we have a different kind of knowledge that we require. But this is our core knowledge that every penetration tester required. So there are subtypes are also available for the cloud, for the Android, like for the mobile phones, for IoTs, for web related things. These are the subtypes of a penetration testing, but the core knowledge resides here in these modules.
Okay. So
Okay.
do you go and show us how to get onto the code and see where the vulnerabilities or something like this exist? So that give the possibility of hacking or how?
Yeah, we will also look the web part in detail because we have dedicated modules for that where we also understand every vulnerability that currently present. Like most common vulnerabilities like the OOPS top 10 and also their subtypes that modules are coming up later. But before that, there is some small modules that we will look like they will also give help you to gain your knowledge. So in the module 7, we have a broader look through the malware section where we will understand every kind of malware that can be that can be in your system. Like you can use it for yourself as well. You can use it for the disruption purposes like to damage someone else's system, and you can also create some malwares based on your requirements. So malware are just viruses that you can use for your purpose, but those are harmful for the decent peoples because they don't know how to use that or what will happen once they click on those kind of malware files. So here we will look and understand every kind of malware that will be help you in your penetration testing journey because there you also use malwares to get into the network.
So that means are we going to write any malware or what is
Yeah,
going to be?
we have a practical, so we need to do like I will give you a demonstration like how we can write a simple malware where we will check how that will work, even though we will just do a full attack kill chain. Okay. In the red teaming, we basically have attack kill chains for every APT, like threat actors. So I have a good methodology for it where we can bind a malware into a PDF. Then that will be sent to a victim machine. The victim will click on that and we will get the access back to us. So it is just a basic methodology that we have, but we will look how we can write that, how we bind malware to PDF, then how we send and how that user will click and how we get access, how we can access their data from that system. So that will be really uh, uh, good demonstration that I have for you, and where there you can learn a lot in the just malware phase I'm talking about. But we also have demonstrations and practicals for every module, where there you can learn things in deeper ways.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
practical like means like we'll get a chance like to practice ourselves.
yeah, yeah, I think we need to get out from here. Yeah, I'm getting out from this PPT. So here
Do
is
we use
I'll
different tools?
yeah yeah
Uh,
yeah I'll give you operating system where you have more than 2000 tools. I'll teach you how you can use that operating system because that operating system you can use in your web penetration testing network penetration testing, Android, cloud, anywhere, because this is the main operating system that you use for your day-to-day work in the
All
cybersecurity.
in Linux or
Yeah, Kali Linux I'm talking about. We will also look the different distros like Parrot, Arch Linux if we require them. But
and
we
you
will
also like
mention
it IAM also you teach, or like mostly under malware detection and penetration testing you teach.
uh, uh, can you explain the IAM working? So like I need to get familiar with that.
No, IAM like identity access manager.
Yeah, but those will be not covered in this module, like in this course, because those are like for that you need to have a different course and different things and different lab setups. Like we can do
This
that,
one
but
is
this will be not bind to this course.
okay. This one is like mainly like a detection malware, like the
Yeah, this
penetration
course
testing.
yeah, this course more mainly focus on giving you the broader knowledge about every job available on the industry. Like this will help you for any kind of penetration testing, VAPT, like any kind of offensive job roles. And even though if you don't want to be that person, you can be on a higher level. Like if you wanted to be a team lead or the manager, at that time you also use that knowledge to like expand your areas of no areas of knowledge. Okay, so here we have a sniffing. It's oh sorry. Okay, so here we have a sniffing module. There will be a content different, but I think I have not changed it. But in the sniffing, we just look for the data that is already present on the network. Like we just capture the data for every person on the network. That's called the sniffing. Let's just snip for the different people's data from your system. So we will use Kali Linux to capture the data of two systems. We will check what they are talking to each other, and we will also modify that data and send to the different system. So these kind of things we have in the sniffing module, where we capture the unsecured data. Like we will check the two systems the have a telnet connection from one system to another, and they are sharing their data. So as we know, the telnet is a insecure protocol that transfer every all data in plain text, so that will be easy for us to capture and see what data is going from back and forth. So this is called the sniffing, just capturing the traffic on the network and checking for the useful data into it, like passwords and important data that will help you to go onto the different system or check for the different access. Next, we have social engineering. It's comes when you wanted to like hack someone, but not in a legal way, like network and web. You just try to get to close that person, like on the call or on the email, through the like through the email, through the call, or any kind of different techniques that are mentioned here. And from there, you try to manipulate that person to reveal the information that will help you to get into the network. Like you can fish that people to open a malicious PDF, or you can fish that people to click on a malicious link that will allow you to send your malware into that network, and that will give you the access. So those kind of social engineering techniques we have, and that we will also do a demonstration of that. And here is the use case for that. Okay, so the next we have is a denial of service attack. Uh, like it's more related to the website and web applications. Okay, here we have a like more related to the website and web application, where we try to disrupt the working of that web application or the website, where we flood that company's website or increase the traffic flow to make it inaccessible or unavailable for the real users. And there you have a different type of DDoS attacks or the DDoS techniques, or even the tools that you can use from the Kali Linux or the from the Windows system, that will show you how you can target a simple looking system, send multiple data, multiple requests, and down that request. These techniques are mostly used by the country to country threat actors to down different countries websites, or it will also used in the cyber security espionage, where one opponent wanted to down someone else website. And this will you also use in the pen testing area, where a client wanted to know how much data they are able to handle, or what if a high load will come into their systems, what they can do, how they manage their load. That's called stress testing, that you can also learn. Okay, so here we have a session hijacking, where we try to hijack a session, legitimate sessions. Like suppose there are two people talking to each other on the network, so we can capture their session details and try to get into that session, and where then we will talk to both peoples and learn about what they are doing, even though we can modify their messages. So here we have a detailed analysis of that, how we can do that, how that will happen. We have dedicated tools for that. Even though we have a practical session where we can check how we can hijack someone else's session. On the web application level, like also we hijack a session of from the web application. And in the network level, in the web application, suppose you are logging into a website like bank website, and you are already doing something there, but the attacker knows your session details, so he will capture that details and open the same session in his browser with that detail. So for that, he will use different kind of tools to capture that session details and put it in his browser, where he will get exact session available for him without inputting the password or doing the authentication or 2FA. So that called session hijacking. For that, there are some parameters that needs to be in line, and we will also check how that could be happen and how that could not be happen.
So this is for only the older website, older way of doing, keep it in the session, or is it for even the Kubernetes or the cloud session like AWS that is applicable to there as well?
This will be happen where the certain things are not available, like session identification or session validation, those kind of things. Like there will be the website will not check where from the request coming in, and the session is legit or not, or even though time binding setup, where the session will be allowed for different time, like 5 to 10 minutes. So those kind of things are not available. We will try to hijack those sessions just to understand how the session hijacking works, that you can also use if you identify vulnerability related to it in your future
Okay.
job roles. But just to give you the understanding of how that thing can work, we have a session hijacking practical.
Okay.
And next we have evading ideas, firewall, and honeypot. So this chapter is more related to the making a bypass from security devices. Like suppose you are outside the network and you wanted to get into that network, but you don't find any vulnerability. There is no other way to get into that system. So you need to bypass the security systems, the security walls present before you and the network that you wanted to get into. So for that, you need to learn the techniques that you can use in your future job roles, or at least you need to have the knowledge about these. We will also have a demonstration of it, where we create a firewall, like open source firewall, and we will try to bypass that firewall's signature based rules, or even though legit rules. Like I'll show you how we can bypass the rules just by doing some minor modifications. And here is the use case for that. like how that actually works, bypassing security monitoring systems. Any doubts till now?
No.
Okay.
I joined
So,
late from the
mm-hmm,
beginning.
mm-hmm.
How many modules there? Actually, I joined late.
On which module you joined?
I think the 9 onwards. I just before that I
Yeah,
didn't join. I
yeah.
joined late.
Before that, we have a network penetration testing methodology. I will re-explain you that methodology again. It will just took 5 minutes, so we will go back there. Okay.
Thank you. And okay, okay, yeah, you continue. We'll talk later in the end.
Okay. So from here, the web penetration testing module will be started. So here we will learn about how we can hack the web servers. There are different type of web server attacks we have. What are the methodologies we have for that? So it will mostly focus on a web server, and we also have more than 3 modules just for the those are focusing on the web related networking. Like this will teach you how to do a bug bounty or how to identify a vulnerability in the legit legit website. Here we also use the burp suite to do that kind of a practical where we will exploit a web related vulnerability and get into that website's core functions. Okay. Then we also have a related module to that, web application hacking, where we will look what is the web application, then what are the threat to that, what hacking methodologies we have, and a different module for web API, web API and webhooks. That's also come under the web application. And here we have a use case for that, exploiting a vulnerable web application. So this kind of application we can also set up in the system, and that will where we can check how can exploit those using the exploit that are currently present on the internet or with the manual thing as well. Okay. Any doubt till now? Okay, so this is also related to the website or the web application penetration testing, because this is the SQL injection. We have dedicated module for it because there are a lot of types of SQL injection are. So we will look multiple types. Like in the practical, we will look how that SQL injection actually happens in the website. What the query made to the database, how they get the data back to the system. So here your database knowledge will comes in. Like we will also learn the parameters, like all the parameters needs to match. The query that we are sending, the database is present on the system, and that database replying back. So we don't have any restrictions or the hardening related to the database and the authentication process. We just a normal database that has common data, and these are the techniques that we have. So we will check multiple techniques, how we can get data with the different techniques. And there are also evasion techniques for the SQL injection, because normal evasion injection queries, like SQL injection queries, are detectable or the database will not respond to that queries. So we need to modify the request that we are sending. So we will send it in a different language or add some different parameters, but that will be recognized by the database. So, but not recognized by the firewalls that are between us and database. So for that we have evasion techniques as well, and we will also look for that. And here is the use case we have, where we stealing data through the vulnerable input field. So this is the uh, uh, also practical of SQL injection. Okay. So this is another module, but it's totally different, where we focusing on Wi-Fi penetration testing, where we first learn what is the wireless network means, what are the types it has, what are the protocols we focusly use in wireless networks, and then we will check their encryption methods, because there are multiple encryption methods for the wireless network. Then what are the threats we have, and then we also have a practical where we try to exploit or hack a Wi-Fi network from the Kali Linux. And here is the use case for that, where we attacking a unsecured Wi-Fi network. Like they wanted to explain us where we target a company's wireless network to exploit weak encryption that is old or misconfigured, and then we will get access to that network just by exploiting the weak encryption module. And this is also different module than previous ones, because the first one that we have it's for the network related. Then we have some optional modules that will also help you to get into the network. Then we learn about the web related modules, then the separate module for the Wi-Fi hacking. And then here we have mobile hacking, like most of the Android and iOS hackings. So we will look for the attack vectors, like different type of attacks, then how we can learn what is the how Android operating system works and what are the ways to get into that system. We have a dedicated practical where we will try to get into a Android phone from the Kali Linux. Like we will check how we can scan those kind of Android phones, and how we load our payload into that, and how we will get direct access to that Android operating system. And even though we will create a persistence, like we will maintain access there, we will try to look what files that have, and how to remained undetected there. We also do the same for the iOS, and then we will also look for the MDM. It's a policy that mostly get used in the network to add external devices into the main network, and this will help us to also get into the network, because these are the mobile devices where we learn how to attack them, breach them, and with the help of these and unprotected Android devices, we will get in entry into the network. So here we have the exact use case where we compromising employees' mobile device to get into the system. For there, we will find insecure apps, weak misconfigurations, and then using that, we will get into the system. Okay. So here we also have a different module, IoT and OT hacking, where we learn what is the IoT devices have we have, what are the concepts. Then we will also look for the OT devices and their concepts. Then we will check what we different attacks we have, and for the OT what we different attacks we have. So here we will create a dedicated lab where we set up a CCTV camera or console of a CCTV camera, and then we will check how can we take access of both. So here we also have a practice of that. And here is the use case for module 18, where we try to breach or exploit the firmware of IoT devices to get into that. And here we will learn about the cloud computing, like what are the major clouds we have, what are the threats are for the cloud computing, and then we will check AWS hacking, like what are the methods or the techniques we have to get into the AWS machine. Then also for the Microsoft, Google, and the container hacking we have, like for the Kubernetes and Docker.
So these are practical or just theory?
No, no, these are both. We have two sessions. The first session, we will learn about the theory, all the theory that are in the module. And then we have another session where we will do multiple practicals And at the end of the practical, I'll also give you some assignments that you need to do to understand that module betterly. And then we will go further with another theory module, and then we have a practical of it. And if we need extra practicals, then we will like if a module required a extra practical, so we can give a 2 session or the 3 session practicals. But these are balanced course where you will learn the theoretical knowledge as well and the practical knowledge as well. In the theoretical session, I will try to give you more and more resource where you can also learn by yourself, where I'll explain the majority of things here, and then you can learn it by yourself as well. And in the practical, I'll help you end to end with the every question that you raise or the every doubt you have. We will go in the flow for the practical, where my goal is to give you the better understanding how the things actually work in the practical manner.
So you complete each module and then we do a practical of that module,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. And like suppose the you
So we
people
do
don't.
that
Mhm.
like in the class itself, or like you do like demonstrate in the class and then we do by ourselves, or how does it?
At the first, you will see me how I'm doing, and you are confident that you can follow me in the right way. Then you can do it by yourself while looking me. Or you are not confident that I'm not doing into right when I'm teaching you how things work, like how to do the practical. Then you can sessions are getting recorded, so you can watch the session and you can do it by yourself in later. So there are two things you have.
So cloud security, you cover all the three securities like Google.
Yeah, we will cover the three major Google Cloud, sorry, three cloud providers, AWS, Azure, and Google. We will look what
Oh,
are the major attacks we have, and we will try to do a practical on the each of them. Or if not possible, we will try to cover more or more than two.
okay. So you'll so like how to do in each and every cloud.
Yeah. Like we will check what are the major attack we have, and we will replicate one of that attack in the practical manner. Like we will learn all the things in the scenario base. Like create a keychain that is required you to understand the things, because every module teach you a like methodology or the framework that you need to follow in your job role. And if you develop that kind of mindset, or you develop that kind of thinking where you can combine every step to create a kill chain, there you have a broader knowledge of that phase. So the next we have, it's an optional module, but it will also help you to understand the cryptography or the encryption algorithms that are currently getting used in the cybersecurity. That will teach you what are the different kind of encryptions we have for the data that getting protected. So here we don't have any practical, but we will check for the encryption modules and what kind of like how we encrypt the data and decrypt the data. So specifically, there is no like attack for the for it, but we have a decryption module where we look first encrypt the data and then we will check how we can decrypt it.
So
And yeah,
let's go back. So when you see here encrypt and decrypt, just the websites that you go and put the data to show that and click the button that encryption and decryption, or you write the code and
no,
show that.
no. We do it with the help of some softwares. Like there are some softwares we have that will dedicatedly tell us how we can do the same thing that the websites do. Because there you will not will learn like you don't learn the concepts that I wanted to teach you how the encryption actually works and how decryption works. What are the basic things we have when we do the encryption? That is just automated way of doing the encryption and decryption, so that we don't want to look. We just need to think in the core how the that things work. So for that we need to do it on the baseline.
Yeah, got it.
And here's another use case for that where we like securing the communication and storing the data. Any doubt for this whole session? the any module you have, we can repeat that. The first one we are going to going again because the learner has joined late. But rest of the modules, you anyone have any doubts or wanted to learn that again?
What is the percentage of practical sessions versus theoretical here?
Uh, Majority my focus is to teach you the practical things. So here we have 70-30 practical, like 70-30 ratio, where you will learn 30% of theoretical and more practical, because that will practical things will you will learn better, and that will help you to like remember the things and methodologies.
Okay.
And theoretical you can also learn from the like from yourself, but the practical knowledge you need, that you will get from this course.
So, how many classes total?
There are 20 modules we have, so we need to we will have 40 to 45.
So, means two class each, right? Each
Yeah,
module.
two class each, and if you required, we can create a three or four class if the module required that. And I know the system hacking module required more than 3-4 classes, because there you have lots of things to learn, like privilege escalation and maintaining access, and so for that we have dedicated one sessions.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, because I don't want to rush in this course. I want you to give a broader look and understanding of every module, because these are the core things you are learning right now. So I need to provide you a good value from this course. So here we have module 2. We are going again because of the user request. Okay. So here we have a module, like think of it just a kill chain that we are currently following. The first step of that kill chain is to identify or gather more and more information about the target that we are going to breach. So here we will get the information from the search engines, social networking sites, and different kind of footprinting methods. The goal of this chapter is to gather more and more information about that target. So from that, we will check what is the useful information we have, and we use that information to go further of doing a scan. Using that information, like we will try to identify the IP address of that targeting system. We will try to identify email address, like every key information that will help us to get close to the target. That could be a IP address, that could be a email ID, that could be a person's name, and any kind of information that will help. So next comes the scanning phase, where once we get the IP address, we will try to scan that IP address. We will check what are the port and services we have, and then once we understand those kind of information, we will also look for the operating system, then all the information like what we get in the return from that network. In the next, we will do the enumeration. This is just the next step of scanning. These are the almost same, but here we go one step further, where we look for the protocols, their versions, and we will try to identify the misconfigured or the vulnerable versions of that services. Like in the scanning phase, we just identify the ports and service, and in the enumeration, we will look more further about learning protocols and their vulnerable uh, versions, and based on that version we can identify uh, the vulnerabilities. I'll also show you in the right time how that actually works. Okay, so suppose there is a one take example of one protocol from here. Okay, so the SMTP. So SMTP version 1 uh, vulnerabilities. Okay, And if I did the SMTP version 1 vulnerability, so you can see there are multiple vulnerabilities it has. Okay. And if I copy just only one vulnerability, just focus on a method I'm doing. Okay. And if I search for here, and even though I add a POC, so here I'm getting a method to breach that vulnerability. So we just need to identify vulnerabilities, these kind of vulnerabilities in the operating system that we are scanning. And enumeration help us to get these kind of data. And using this data, we can get into that system, like, because that's our main goal. Here you can see we have an exploit for that we can use to breach that vulnerability. So this is a method to get into a system. And these uh, modules help us to identify that kind of information. So here we have a demonstration and practical of that, where we will do the enumeration and learn about things. And here is the vulnerability analysis. This is in automated way, where we will set up one vulnerability scanner in the network, and we will scan for the multiple systems that are connected to each other. And using that information, we will check what are the latest vulnerabilities or the vulnerabilities we got. And in the next module, we will try to exploit that vulnerabilities or try to attack on that vulnerabilities in the system hacking phase, where we will use a dedicated framework, a Metasploit framework that has more than uh, 10,000 exploits that we can use. Exploit is just like a piece of code that will help you to breach that vulnerability. This concept or this word will look intense for now, but once we get into the course, when we learn things deeply, these will get normalized, and you will understand everything that I am currently talking. Some things will be like you will not able to understand some things, but you will get all the information, all the data, all the knowledge that I am currently talking. And next we have a malware threats, where this is just a broad explanation about what are the different type of malwares we have, what malwares we can create, what malwares we can use for getting into the system. And here we will try to capture the data in the network of a different system that are talking to each other. So we will just capture their data, look for the password or the any important information that is traveling on the network. And in the social engineering, we will try to manipulate the peoples that are already working in the network, and using their ability to click on a PDF, on the URL, on any kind of thing, like we try to fish them and try to do some things that we are not able to do from the outside the network. So we will try to do that thing from their help and get into the network. It's just like telling someone to open a door for ourselves to get into that home. Okay, so I think we have learned all the modules. Like we get the overview of all the modules. Anyone have any doubts or any kind of questions? Hello, team.
Hi, Anvesh. I'm Shiva. Actually, I am new from cybersecurity. Can I
Mm-hmm.
start to learn this one totally?
Which one? Yeah, you can, because I will
Is
take
there
care
any
of.
prerequisites I need to learn before?
No, there are no much prerequisite that you need to learn, because this course is just for the beginners that wanted to learn the cybersecurity and the PH as well, because this will cover all the techniques and tools you require in your day-to-day job roles.
No need to learn any prerequisites,
No,
right?
no, there are
Before.
no prerequisite, because this is the course. It will be your guider for your rest of the cybersecurity journey.
Okay, okay. Actually, I am totally different. Like coming from database side to cyber security, I'm planning to move. That's why I have some this one.
That will be okay. That you can later when this course will over, you can learn about bug bounty and the web exploitation. There will be you have a broader like understanding about the database, right? Currently, you have that understanding, so that will help you to grow more into the bug bounty, where people are getting bounties of $1,000. But for that, you need to have the baseline and the base knowledge, and this course will help you to build that.
Okay, we can get right easy. How the market, the cyber security nowadays?
Yeah, it's currently good because requirement is too high, and there are not much people are available to do the job. So they are like there are requirements are currently. You can see
Oh,
currently multiple jobs are getting like there are multiple JDs are coming, but there are not peoples. Like there is
okay,
a low requirement right now.
okay.
Anyone else have any doubt?
How many days? This one?
Yeah, this will took 40 to 42 days to complete the course because we have a broader uh, things to cover.
Okay, how timings?
The management will share the timings with you, and then we can start.
How many days in a week?
I think in a week currently 5 days, as per my knowledge.
Hi Vinasha, here I am. Yeah. So learners, like the session which we're having it in the weekday structure. So from Monday to Friday, every of week 5 days, we are having the session for 60 minutes of duration. Okay. And coming towards the timings part, so it will be like same the time we are having now. That will be like 7:30 p.m. IST. I hope, I mean, it's fine for all of you. Like if any changes here or there you guys might require, and you can like suggest your time availability, that will help us.
Okay, and yeah, module 20 course laid out very good, but how in depth or how much practical hands on is getting covered here?
So as Avinash mentioned earlier ago, like same questions asked by Lakshmi sir also. So if you have to measure it in a ratio, so 70% he will be covering the complete practical part, and remaining 30% will be the theoretical part. Just to give you a quick like a walkthrough on each and every module, how the things will work in this. And rest over like practical methodology he will be sharing. And if theory part you guys moreover required, so we will be sharing you the materials also, that you guys can keep as a like a reference check.
Hmm. So just now he has gone through the Google slide, right? Is it shareable or just
Yeah, that you will be getting it after like once the class will start it, you will be getting that PPT also on your drive. Okay, that we will be sharing with you guys.
if I miss some classes, recordings will be shared?
Yes, once the see after this demo session, you will be getting the demo session recordings also in your WhatsApp chat box, which you can refer from the start. I think you have joined in middle of the session, right? So you can review that. And on the sessions part, like as for now, we guys are planning to start the session on this 27th of December, and after this on 27th and 28th we will be having the session, and after this we will be having the a holiday on the New Year part. And after this, from 4th of January, we will be having the regularized classes.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, right. So what kind of job roles we can apply with this CEH course and certification there? Any certification help or any certification terms like that? So for this CEH,
I think so, Avinash, you can answer this question. I think you will be the right
Yeah,
person for this.
yeah. The roles that I'm explaining you, you can go into the both side, like the blue team and the red team. In the red team, you will learn about the like uh, penetration testing jobs and jobs that are, one second, just setting the Metasploit.
So blue team, red team, first time hearing. Tell me exactly what is that?
Like if you are trying to provide a defense to the network, then you comes under the blue team where you protect the network from the real hackers. So
Hmm.
there you will learn about like any dedicated tools that you can use, like the firewall, the switch, router, or EDR, IDS, IPS. Any you will master any one tool and you will get a job related to that tool. And in the red teaming, you do the ethical hacking, like you do pen test and testing for the network, web, Android, cloud, any, or you can do a full stack pen test and testing where you have a knowledge of all these sites. Majorly, the HRs focus on a full stack penetration tester, where they have a look knowledge of every field from the cloud, Android, web, and network. But you can want you if you wanted to good in any one, then you can narrow down your skills and you can train yourself for the network related. That's the most common. Then web related. That's a second type. Then cloud, Android, these kind of, and you will look the jobs related to it. Most common job is a VAPT job where you be a person of a penetration tester.
So job role name is like penetration tester.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, are we going to install any tools or softwares in our system which
Uh,
supports Mac and Windows, or how it is?
Majority of the majority of the tools are currently present in the Kali Linux, but if we require, we will add some the tools. Like
To use
there
them.
are some Windows tools also available, so that we need to use.
So, sorry, I couldn't hear that. Most of the tools are available in Linux, right?
Yeah, Kali Linux. But if you wanted, then you can also if we required, we also have some uh, Windows related tools that we need to use.
What about the Mac?
For the Mac, we have some testing methodologies for that, but the CH mostly focus on Linux and Windows.
Okay.
But if you wanted to have a use case of that, I'll create one demonstration where we will set up operating system, Mac operating system, and try to check how we can reach that from the Kali Linux. Okay, because we just need to install one vulnerable Mac OS, and then we
No,
will check what vulnerabilities we have, and we can get into it.
no, I'm currently using Mac, so that's why I'm asking. Because whenever you say some tools or something, softwares that I need to
Yeah,
install,
yeah. For that, you have a Mac and you wanted to learn use these tools into Mac, right?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, for that you need to install the VMware Fusion. You can search for that later, and there you will set up multiple operating systems. So currently in my laptop, I am running three operating systems. This is the vulnerable operating system that you are currently looking, Metasploitable, and this is the attacking operating system that we have. And the base operating system, it's this one, Windows. Okay, so I'll also help you to build a lab, and like in the first day we will build a lab. I will help every person to build the lab first, set up the network, and once we're done with that, we will directly start the footprinting and all those things. Okay.
What is the configuration you need of the system to install all
Uh,
the
it's better to have a 16 GB, but we can go with the 18 GB RAM as well. But it's better to have a 16 GB.
60 GB memory?
Yeah, memory. Because if you create a multiple operating systems, then you need you need to allot then RAM.
And here, many of them from US or many of them from India? since you have the timing at morning 7 o'clock in US time.
Some of them what? Can you repeat again?
Yeah. Here the attendees currently they are from US or they are from India.
I am from US. Okay.
I'm from
Okay.
India.
Okay.
And you guys, Raj and Lakshmi, where
Yeah,
are
I'm
from?
in Arizona, US.
Okay,
So the time
Arizona. Okay.
morning 7 o'clock. That's why.
Yeah, 2 hours difference. Okay. Here 9 o'clock. Yeah. EST. Raj, and you?
Yeah, I'm from EST. How about you?
US, where in US?
Yeah, I'm in the EST time zone. Are you in the EST?
New York.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry for the delay. The operating system that I was using in the last uh, batch was corrected by the malwares. So I built it from the scratch. So now we have a running operating system, one for the hacking and one for the bridge. Okay, I'm just starting these two, and I'll give you the demonstration of practical, like how actually the ethical hacking works. So it will help you to give you the broader understanding of how we do these things in the Kali. Okay, and I'll also share you the courses, like other courses that will give you like help you to build your mindset or the thinking. Okay, like I'll show you the course of a Kali. Somewhere I'll show you the course for the dedicated tools that you wanted to learn further. Just to mention me that you wanted to get a more knowledge about this specific tool, and I will find a related course to that and help you with that tool. Or if I find any resources that will help you to get broader knowledge of that tool, sorry, I'll also do that.
So
Okay.
that if I have the access to this tool, then only I can use the ethical hacking or right the Kali.
Can you repeat again?
Okay, if I have the access to this Kali tool, then only
Uh,
I can do the hacking or whatever the one that you said, penetration testing and all these.
Actually, the ethical hacking can be done on the any device you have. That could be operating like Mac, Linux, Windows. The operating system not a mandatory thing. You just need to have the mindset and the thinking about the hacker. But when it comes to penetration testing and the job roles that I'm mentioning, there you need to have a good understanding of a Kali Linux. So that's why I have choose this, even though we can do all the same things in the Linux and Windows as well. Like I will find that kind of tools that will exactly give the situation understanding. But majority of the uh, organization use Kali Linux for their penetration testing and that kind of job roles.
Okay.
So, can you please explain what is your experience like which areas of security and how long you're working in the industry?
Actually, I started as a tech support person. Like in the early days, I was a system administrator where I learn about network, the Active Directory, and like I cleared my all basics. Then I grow my understanding in the penetration testing. Then I learn about all the things that we are currently talking, like the web related penetration testing, network related penetration testing, and then I get into a more deeper level where I learn the operating systems in more detail, like on the kernel level, on the internal level, the Linux and the Windows, and then I get to know about the red teaming, where I currently in. I'm a lead red teamer in a Fortune 500 company, where I'm dedicatedly create attacks like based on the current threat actors doing. Like some people from the Russia doing an attack on the America. So I'll try to identify their kill chain and try to implement that exact attack in my organization to prevent that kind of attack from that intruder to our organization. So it's just a basic work of a red teamer. There also other things also come, but yeah,
So what is your day-to-day like activity like looks like as a
yeah,
cyber
yeah.
as a cyber security
That's
analyst?
what I currently explained to you. We create attacks and we create tools for that attack. We create script and all the things, but we majorly based on the native tools that are present in the net system. So in my job role, I focus on that.
Okay, so you are in the threat assessment side, like a mitigation. There are multiple teams that they'll be like working, right?
No, actually, I work with the threat management teams, like blue teams, but I'm my primarily goal is not to uh, create a threat research or do the threat research. That will be done by the threat researcher that I have in my team, and they give us the all the details about like what is happening in the industry right now, and we
You
create
try to
tools.
simulate or
Yeah, we try to simulate that kind of attack in the network.
okay. So you should like some of the like a threat analysts, like they'll be daily looking for a threat, the port mapping and everything, like
Mm-hmm.
network scanning, port mapping, all those like they do, right? Like the port scanning, like pin
Okay.
map. No,
Yeah.
that's what like generally some of the like a team like they just do the scanning, like they come in the morning, they do the like network scanning. They
Mm-hmm.
use any app, all those things like to scan any like vulnerability or anything.
Okay.
So that is like a one kind of job, like and then like the one you are doing like the stimulation, all those like that's a different kind of job. So you do a lot of programming related to this because
Uh,
the
mhm.
stimulation like you need to have a programming, right? Like if you have to like inject that and like stimulate that in the real time, like
Yeah, yeah. So in the simulation, we I don't rely on the regular tools because their footprints, that is the advanced level of thinking. EDRs focus on the footprints of every tool that you are currently using. In the penetration testing, you don't connect with the security devices, like those don't come in the picture. But when you come into the red teaming, your most famous enemies are the EDR, IPS, IDS, and all the security devices you have in the network. Like you get into the network that is fully protected, fully patched, and that time you need to simulate that attack without raising alarms. And
okay.
for that, you need to have your own tools, own scripts, own methodology, own techniques, and you achieve your end goal, like dumping credentials or stealing passwords or doing the exact methodology of that hacker. Like it takes months to build that kind of thinking and attack. But once you succeed to that, you can show that to the higher management and show them how that actually happened and what their security devices has done, like how they have not targeted any alert or how they not triggered anything.
So do you use Python or what kind of scripting you use for this?
Uh, I use majorly Python, Ruby, C Sharp, C, and PowerShell, Bash, Batch, all kind of. Actually, I do a type programming, so that help me in all the things.
So you share some of the practical examples, some scripts to run on this, huh?
Yeah. So can we go further in the practical, or like or you just wanted to have the conversation with me?
Yeah, yeah. That's one last question for you.
Okay.
CEH, right? Certified Ethical
Yeah.
Hacking
Yeah.
Hacker.
Yeah.
So, how certification help you can go? You can give here some certification dumps and all. I'll
The
take some
sir, the voucher, or you were talking about the certification dumps, okay? So
certification dumps and some discussion.
that will be from my side, okay, not from the management. I'll give you the dumps, I'll give you the exam questions, I'll give you everything that I have because I am also a certified like I have the cracked the certification 2 3 years ago. So I have all that data and I will surely provide to you, okay? So don't
So
worry
what is
about
that?
Mm.
that.
What is the certification like that for ethical hacking you do like?
Majority you start with the CH, absolutely, because every cybersecurity person needs to have this certification, because HR look for this certification in the beginner role. Then you will go for the
CASSC or SSP or CSSA or
no, those
comps.
are the management level. There you don't have need to have practical knowledge like this. And you can't directly do the CISSP. You at least need to have a 5 to 6 years of experience in the network before going to into that CISSP. Like they won't allow you if you don't have that kind of real experience.
Okay, SSA can anybody can do it, right?
Which one? CH.
CAS,
Yeah,
SSA.
yeah. CH anyone can do. For that, you just need to have knowledge of every uh, a module that we are currently learning.
Okay, yeah, we got the point. Okay, you can continue showing practice. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Like, I want you to be interested in this course because that will give you more in like excitement to me because I'm the I'm the instructor, so I will try to explain everything, every doubt. Okay, so here we have the white box penetration testing. In the white box penetration testing, you get the IP address from the management. Okay, so you are not into the network itself. You are outside the network, but one key information you get the IP address of that operating system. Okay, so here the operating system's IP address you can see. So it is the vulnerable operating system that we are going to hack. Okay, oh sorry, exploit in the legal manner. So here is the IP address of that. So using this IP address, we are continuing like this is the first step we did. We gather the information about that operating system or the target, right? So this is the first step has complete. So we will going with the scanning. In the scanning, we will use the nmap. This is the day to do like day-to-day tool for that's the thing that every VAPT person use. Like you mentioned that people do the scanning once they come into the network, right? So they use this kind of tool to do the scanning. And here we have 10 dot to that 0 dot and 15. Okay. So this is the IP address of that operating system, vulnerable operating system, and this is the scanning phase that we are doing. And these are the, let me increase the font first.
I think that is 1002, not 20.
Oh, my bad, sorry. Again, 02, yeah. Thanks for the details.
Thanks for good eye. Right.
I think you are totally focused on this practical right now. So thanks. Okay, so here we are going to do the scanning. First thing, we observed or gather the information about the target, and here we are running the scanning. Okay, and the scanning has begun. Okay, I'll make it small so you can see. So here we are just doing a normal scan to check the if the host is live or not. Okay. If all things are getting correctly, then we can also check the open ports and their state and services. It will take some time. You can click the enter button to check the percentage. Here you can see the 17% has been done. Okay. Meanwhile, this completing, you can ask your doubts because it will take a lot of time.
Jobs names like you just mentioned, penetration tester, and what kind of names, job names we can see online, or we can search with this
Job
course.
code.
Uh,
Can you tell me?
yeah, yeah. For the entry level, if you even did a normal search on the Google,
You put it
that
in the
will be
chat
show you
also.
the basic jobs. But the most recognized are the junior penetration tester, security analyst, or the security engineer, or the offensive security engineer. These kind of the roles you have, and you will check the experience they mentioned. They basically look for the 0 to 1 year experience that will be suitable for you, where you will just check for the skills they mentioned. That needs to be
Mm.
with your skill set. And if you don't
Security
have
engineer.
a, yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
most focusedly you will look for the junior penetration tester, and vulnerability analyst post. Okay, these are the three major job roles that you have:
What tell again?
junior penetration tester, vulnerability analyst, or security engineer must be. And
Junior,
there,
you said junior, huh? Junior
yeah,
penetration tester.
junior penetration tester, VAPT engineer, sometimes security analyst and vulnerability analyst. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So it's 80% done. We will check.
How many years of experience you have, Avinash?
5 to 6 currently. I'm in the 6 years right now, and this will be get completed in next March, I think, and then the seventh will start.
Into this domain only, compared to cyber security?
Yeah, in the cybersecurity.
Hey, Avinash, you said for the CISSP,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has to be 6 years experience on networking or 6 years experience on any.
6 years experience in purely cybersecurity, not in the networking, not into the uh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we have a small issue here, because the operating system is trying to identify the, like, the IP, but that IP is not currently getting faced, because the IP address you can see, it's a different here, and the IP address we have, it's a different. But I still try to uh, check if we are able to get close to that system. So we need to change some setting, like go into the settings, go into the network, reach adapter, and okay, we will go with the host only adapter, or even though we will bridge adapter, but change it to this one. We need to have the same IP range, and that will help us to get close to that network, right?
So this is the
Well,
only tool you use. Like, is there any other tool, Splunk or any other tools you use on your daily day-to-day job?
actually, I don't use tools majorly, because I told you my working is not a penetration testing right now. I do, like, in the early year, like when I was just a system engineer, then I switched into the penetration testing. There, I have used a lot of these tools.
So what are
Then
the tools as a penetration tester we use, like Kali Linux, like
uh,
Splunk tools, CrowdStrike, like that? They use any other tool? Or?
yeah, the Splunk and CrowdStrike, those are most to the blue teamer side. Okay, those tools used for the detection purpose. The Splunk for the SIM, like to get the alerts, and the CrowdStrike for is the EDR, as you know.
Okay.
But
So this
if you
one,
Mhm.
hacking it, ethical hacking or penetration test, it comes under, you said blue and red, right? That comes under red.
Yes, right.
Blue is like the detection is like comes under blue, mitigation and all those like it comes under red or
No, no. You need to switch that. Like the mitigations and detections come under uh, blue team, and breach, attack, and simulations come under
red team. Okay.
red team. The internet work,
Repeat again. Interesting. Repeat again.
the detection and mitigations come under blue team, and the attack, breach, and simulation comes under the red team.
Attack, breach, and
Simulation.
Simulation. Okay. This is the first time I'm attending, cyber security related
Okay.
demos. Okay.
Actually, many people just focus on theoretical. They don't do the practical sessions because that takes a lot of time to configure the things and create the attacks in the. But I am regularly into this and I know how things work because that's why I don't know that this will be not work. But I still try to do that. But we will do the session like practical session and then end our this demo. Okay. So just stick with me. We will hack this system.
End of the day, this is like because this one not many people they saw actually the practical sessions.
Yeah, and
Here
I
you can
love to
read
have a
anything.
practical session in my course. So that's why I mostly focus on the practical.
That helps the job also. Like if you
Yeah, yeah. Because if you even go on the Udemy or on the YouTube to check for the videos, there you will just watch the videos, but you will not get the hands-on, right? So that's a gap I wanted to fill. Like I have a batch, then I will try to give them every information that I have regarding the practical sessions.
See, right now,
Okay.
what you are doing in your job right now. I mean, yeah, of course. What
As a
you are
red
doing?
teamer, I just tell you, as a red teamer, I work into the a company where we create red teaming attacks, and we try to simulate those attacks into a network that are fully controlled or the
Mm,
fully secured by blue teamers. Like they have all
mm,
the softwares present, EDR, IPS, IDS. Like there are bunch of more than 20 plus uh, softwares they have or the
mm,
devices they have just to track the user's activity, even though there is a one client I cannot name them, but that is an international client who has a device that if capture even the file name, like if I change the file name there will be alert generated.
mm.
In that scenario we also have a breach.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Good, good, good.
so
so threat
okay.
and
So by this, sorry, one more. By
Mm-hmm.
this learning, we
Mm-hmm.
will be situated in either one of the team, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's on you where you wanted to go, in the blue, in the
Okay.
red. So I like the
Mm.
red team most, so that's why we are doing the
Because
practical. Yeah,
yeah, very good. Because you see the red guys, intruders.
yeah. Okay. So finally we have done the configuration. Sorry for the delay, guys. Extremely sorry. So like actually the host is not coming into the network victim, even though I firstly set up both into the same network, but this is not coming into the that network. So I change it to the another one. Now it's in, let me check. Okay. It's inter settings. The network is host only. Okay, nice. So I need to change this one also to host only. Yeah, let's check. Yeah, it's disconnected and connected again. Okay. Yeah, now we have the correct IPs and we can do practical. Okay, so now you can see that oh, I need to have the IP for you. Oh, this IP here and this IP. Just check. These are the in the same network. Okay. Here is the network 192.168.56.00.101. Okay, and here you can so I think you all have some basic knowledge of networking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if
Some, but
mhm,
long time. Now, right now,
okay,
everything is
so
washed away.
when we end this session, I'll share you one best networking playbook or the playlist from the YouTube that there you can learn the networking for free because that will be that you require that knowledge. Okay.
Okay. Say that. Send to the so Vidas.
Yeah, I'll give you. I will show you in the chat as well. SV that SPN. Okay, and the target's IP. So here, what we have the IP 192.168.56.101. 192. Okay. This is we assuming that this IP we got from the client. Okay, so this is the first step we completed. And what is the end? Is the 101. Okay, and now we are doing the scanning to check the ports, open ports, and the services, even their state and their version. Let's check what data we will get in the back. Once the data will come, I'll try to explain. Yes, done. Okay, so here you can see the response, right? The port list, their state, their services, and their version. Okay, so this is how we do the first scanning. And now we will go further in the enumeration stage. Okay, anyone have doubts? Because we got the data right.
Clear. Okay, good.
Okay,
So
easy to understand?
this screens means
See,
this is what all the services that in the
Yeah.
system.
This shows the all services that like all the softwares that has installed in this operating system. This could be your operating system and the softwares. I need to show you in the Windows for that. Okay. Appis.cpl. Okay. Okay. So here you can see the softwares I have, and these softwares also have the version, right? It's not getting complicated right now, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, so here you can see the version. So this is the same data that I have pulled doing the scanning, but it's because it's a Linux machine. That's why we are able to see the versions of it. If I did the same scanning for my host machine, we will get the data of these uh, tools. Okay, the service, the protocol they are using, and their version. Right?
Mm.
Yes. So here we will exploit this protocol FTP because it's most vulnerable. Okay, we will try to get the access of FTP server. And how we can do that? We just use the FTP, just like we use the SSH. If anyone have any doubt, please ask because I know this will get complicated when we go further. Okay, 101, right? 101. Okay. So what I'm doing here, can anyone explain? Like
Trying to
if we
connect.
have,
Connecting.
yeah, we are just normally trying to connect to the FTP. And why we doing that? Because we get the inputs that there is a one FTP server is running on that operating system right now.
But you need password, user ID password, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that we will do.
You can
Okay.
hack that user ID password also.
No. So this is just a normal connection that we are trying to make. Okay. And as I told you, this is a white box testing. So we have some information. So I know the password of that FTP. Okay. This is what we capture in the initial phase that I told you in the uh, information gathering phase. So suppose we got the dumped credentials from some your sources. We got the IP addresses, all those things, right? So suppose we also got the IP address, we also got the username, password. So that we are trying to do here. We will also go with same password. Yeah. And here you can see, is it visible right now? Or should I increase it more? Okay.
No,
Just for the sake of learning purpose, just understand that we have that password. But I'll also explain you how we can capture the password, crack the passwords. That we will look later. Okay. Just for the learning or the demo purpose, understand that we have passwords, IP address, and we are getting into the system, right? And if I do a normal Linux command, you all aware to Linux, right?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just pounding the directory, and we are into the home directory. And if I do ls, then we can see what are the files we have, right? And we can change the directory as well to cd home. Okay. And if I again do the ls, so here is the another files that we have, and we can go further in the operating system. Okay, and we are getting exit. So this is the one protocol that we breach. We get into that protocol using the information that we have. We can also, like in the FTP, you can download, upload all the things, and that's uh, go further. Okay. So now we are going into the next phase, system hacking phase. And here we're starting the Metasploit. It is a exploit framework that we are
Yes, sir.
currently using.
Thank you.
Okay. And just learn, look here. The FTP server has a pro FTPD version. So we will look for this exploit. Although we can look for the same exploit on the internet. See here, pro FTPD. Okay. Okay. Just remember this opera version, pro FTPD 131. Okay. Pro FTPD 101 expert. So here we have the exploit for that. Let me check if I open the correct one. No, it's 13. Sorry. Okay, this is the one. I'll see. So we can download this exploit from here. Exploit is a piece of code that will help us to uh, breach that vulnerability, like take the advantage of that vulnerability, because that's the working of this code. Okay, so we can download it also manually and execute and get entry, but we have one dedicated tool, Metasploit, that will do all these things by its own because it has all the data. Okay, it's getting complicated or understandable? I need to explain it in other way, guys.
No. So
If anyone have a complexity to understand these techniques, just ask me. I'll try to make it more and more simple. Okay.
sure.
Okay.
What is
So
Metasploit?
Mhm.
It automatically like feeds the data and start doing the searching.
Can you repeat again?
No, the tool which you are using, right? It automatically feeds the input from there and starts searching.
No. I'll show you what I did. Here you can see I have given a command to start MSF console. So will get started. And then I'm searching for the exploit because it has a exploit library where we can learn for, like, we can use the exploit from that uh,
Back also.
backend or the library we have. Okay. So from here we are going to use one exploit. Okay. Because the base FTP version we can see here. So we will use the related exploit to that base FTP protocol. Okay. So let's use the, I think it's visible now. FTP base FTP. Yeah, this one. Done. Okay. And if I launch, we are into that exploit and we just need to set up some things. But before that, let's check for the options. Okay. So here are some options that we need to change. The R host that we will change now, and port is already set up and all things are set up. We just need to set up the R host because that will be custom IP address of that victim machine. Okay. So set R host, and we need to use 192.168. After we're done with this exploitation, I'll explain you the full methodology again. Okay. 56101. Okay. So now we set the R host, the IP address of that system, because this exploit need to redirect there. And now we will just run this exploit. What option is invalid? Let me check.
It's PR host.
SCT, correct?
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. It's just a typo. You all are more aware than me, and that's good. Okay, it's set now, and we will run. And done. Okay, so we are trying to get into the system. Oh, no session has been created, but we will run that again because the session has created, but we just need to have the access to that. Okay. See, the first time we run the exploit, that created the session, but we are not able to interact with them. But later, we exploit that vulnerability. We get the access to system without any password. Okay. Here you can see I have not specified any password or username, right? We just use the exploit for that vulnerability.
So this tool is going to doing backend business like
No,
MSF or what?
it does not have a username password. It does not have the details to log into the FTP server. But the FTP server itself has a vulnerability that can be breached by the exploit that we are using that allow us to get into the system without any username and password. And that's what we are currently doing. And if I do, who am I? And here you can see we have a root access. Okay.
So means
And
you
this is how the things work. So you can ask, I think you have now better questions. Okay.
yeah. Now
Okay.
what you did is so how do I say now you are into that system because of the IP or you have access
No,
to the IP or
no.
how is it?
First of all, we don't have anything to get into the system. The thing here is the system or the protocol that we'll check earlier that has a specific vulnerability that can allow us to log into the system without using username and password. So that misconfiguration, the exploit we used will breach and allow us to get into the system. And even though it can create a backdoor because of the backdoor is just uh, a session, another session that will give us access to that system. Okay. So it only happens because we have a vulnerability and we have exploit. Think of it just a door lock and the door key. The vulnerability will be the door lock and the key will be the exploit for it. Like we use it in a perfect manner, we can open the door, right? So this is how it works. We don't require the password, we don't require username, anything. And I'll show you this kind of techniques and things in this course that you will help you to build your knowledge in ethical hacking because this is what we do in the cybersecurity.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we are done with the demo session. And just tell me what doubt you have and what you wanted to learn specifically. We can also try to cover that things.
You said these terms, again tell that. Door lock, what we say that? Exploitation. No?
Oh, should I explain that again?
No, just tell me the terms, this is what we say door lock and door key you said, right? So what we say in that cyber security on our, what we say? Door
I'll
lock
explain
means
you here. Just the door lock is a vulnerability and the key is a exploit. Okay. So if we like if we spin it in a right manner, we can open the door, right? And we get into the system without any additional information. So the exploit is not a legitimate key, right? But if we spin it in a right manner, we can get into the system without any legitimate key to that door, right? So that's what we do.
Okay. So each module you have documentation also for the practice or whatever.
Yeah. I have the documentations, I have the resources, I have the tools. Even we will learn a lot in this course.
So
And
threat
I just
analysis.
need, yeah. Okay,
Sometimes
ask,
like
ask.
I think as per threat analyst, right? That also we can apply that
Avinash,
job.
do you require any help, Avinash, or any queries the candidates are having?
Yeah, I'm just solving the queries that they have. I'm done with the session. I have done the, like, I have explaining the curriculum as well, and we did a small demo. Okay, I'm just giving them a good resource for the networking.
Okay, got it. I guess Srinivasa is having some question, right, Vasu?
Done. Thank you. Right. So what is that? But can you show me again the networking
Yeah, I'll
beginner?
share the link with you. Okay, this is a free
Yeah.
data you have, like playlist here, and it is the one of the best playlist on the
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah, even though you go to search for the other people's, they will also give you the reference of this this module. And I have also gone through. You can see I have make it to myself
Right.
as well. So it's useful. You can learn networking in detail. So, and if you don't want it to learn in detail, you can just check for the networking plus, that also helpful. But this will give you the basic understanding, like before starting this ethical hacking. So you will not feel like in back when we do the network penetration testing.
Mhm.
Okay. I have shared the link in the chat.